Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to my green card story. On this channel, we share the story of those that have applied for a green card through the EB2-NIW. Okay. So before I continue, I like to inform you that we have a website. Our web address is www.mygreencardstory.com, and our email is info@mygreencardstory.com. Details of our contact information is available in the description section of this YouTube video. So today I'd like to introduce someone. His name is Wale. He's a lawyer. He applied for EB2-NIW as a law student, getting his JD, which is equivalent to a Ph.D. in science, and his petition was approved. The reason why I said I'm interviewing him today is because, number one, a lot of people have heard several stories that if you are in the legal field, if you're a lawyer or you're in the art field, you can't get a green card through EB2-NIW because they believe that it's only for STEM people or STEM professional, but that is not true. Everyone can apply for EB2-NIW as long as you meet the eligibility criteria and you have an endeavor that's of substantial merit and national importance. So Mr. Wale actually has a background in the legal field. The second reason why I'm interviewing him is because he's our latest consultant. Okay. So for those of you that you're in the art field, you're getting your degree in philosophy, psychology, or getting a LLM or JD, and you want someone to talk to about your EB2-NIW, please go to our website, click on consultation, and pick Mr. Wale, schedule a consultation with him and talk to him. Also, he also work with people in the STEM field, in the science and engineering field, and also in the commercial field. So feel free to schedule a consultation with him. So he's ready to write a petition cover letter for you or help you to review your petition cover letter, because that's what we do at My Green Card Story. So kindly welcome with me, Mr. Wale. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you very much, Bobola. Thank you for having me here. And hello to everyone, all our viewers. I'm glad to be part of this movement.
Okay, good. Can you tell us about yourself? Can you just introduce yourself?
Right. Wale by name. I'm a trained lawyer, and I started my legal career in Nigeria. And I have always had the desire to pursue law to the topmost height, especially in academia. So I came to the United States for my advanced degrees, which is my JSD, which is also called a Ph.D, and my LLM. And ever since that time that I got those degrees, I started working, and at some point in my second year as a second-year PhD student, I applied for the EB2 National Interest Waiver visa. I remember that I also had some conversation with Mr. Bobola here about the process, and I got it, and it's been the foundational success of why I work in the US and I stay here legally.
Okay, thanks so much for that brief introduction. So I'm going to ask you a question now. I have a lot of questions that I'm going to ask you. So the first one is, why did you decide to apply for a green card, especially a green card under the EB2-NIW category?
Yeah, so a friend of mine, she's a Dr. Queen. We're both PhD students together, and she informed me about the process. And initially, I I discounted. I felt like, well, I wasn't qualified, but I took a deeper dive into it and I felt like, oh, I could do it. So first I applied because, I mean, as a foreigner, I was looking for an opportunity to legally stay in this country. And I felt I had paid a lot of money. For example, my program was not funded. I paid cash or through. So I needed to work and get some money. And OPT wouldn't be enough for me. So I needed a very valid stay here in the United States. And so that explains, that's one of the reasons why I had to apply. Then secondly, I felt like I had the requirements for that would make me eligible for it. And all I just needed to do was try. I mean, I felt like the worst that would happen would be to say no. And I wasn't afraid of, being turned down, but at least people would remember you for the things you made effort to. So I just wanted to try and I did. And yeah, so staying here legally as an immigrant and having the opportunity to contribute to the values of this country, the reasons why I decided to apply.
Okay, that's awesome. In fact, you have answered my next question. So what made you believe that you could actually self-petition? Can you tell us about your background? I mean, did you meet the requirement based on the advanced degree or based on the exceptional ability? Can you share more light into that?
Oh, sure. So I would say at the time I wanted to apply, and that was 2017 or 2018. So I believe I had a combination of both grants, for exceptional grants and advanced degree. But if my memory serves me right, I think I chose the advanced degree option. First, it's like I have, and please, I'm saying this with every sense of humility. I look at my academic records, like I have 2 masters, I have a PhD, I was a PhD student, and I felt like, well, for the advanced degree, I already checked the box. And so I remember I spoke to the lawyer of that was serving international students in my school. I shared the idea with him, and he said no, that it wasn't for people like me that that they would tell me that I could do law in my country. What's special about law that so that I shouldn't just waste my time. So that was the first discouragement I had, and honestly, for 6 months, I abandoned the process. I said, well, there's no way, because the things he told me I would need to present, Google citations, books, peer review articles, and so many things. Even though I was writing an article at that time, but I hadn't submitted it, so I wasn't sure what would come out of it. So, but I just believe that, well, if they gave me 3 options or 3 requirements, and I had met 2 of those requirements, that I could try. And so that was just what happened, and I did.
Okay, good. Thanks so much. So from time you made up your mind to apply, what steps did you take? What practical steps, or should I say, okay, what documents? Okay, can you give us an example of the supporting document that you attached to your petition?
Sure. So first, I had to do a very good resume, or CV, looking at examples or samples from friends and from I had to download some.
And sorry, can you differentiate between a resume and a CV?
So for me, as an academic person,
CV, yeah.
So CV would sell me better than a resume. CV would detail my academic work, my academic publications, projects that I am doing, and contributions I'm making, it will also show the traction that I have had in academia. And there are things that I believe, because when I was doing my CV, I needed to banish or exclude some, useful information about my professional background, things I had done in Nigeria. I used to work in the bank, and I used to own a practice. All of those things, I had to trim them down to concentrate on how my CV amplifies my projection, especially the course of my dissertation. So I had to do the CV to testify to my academic ability and achievements. Then I was writing a book, so I had to litter the CV with things that would testify to my academic competence and also my professional experience, both more tailored towards my academic goal. So that was the first thing I did. And I haven't done that. I shared it with my supervisor to just give me comments. I shared with some other students who also gave me comments. And so I used to have a very fat, pardon me for using that word, a very fat resume, right? But by the time, for that purpose, for the purpose of NIW, I had to trim it down to some details so that would explain my academic goals. So that's when the two.
So besides your CV, what other supporting documents did you attach in a nutshell? Because we still have some other questions.
Yeah, I'm sure I got about 9 recommendation letters.
Okay.
And those are very, very important. Even I wanted to get up to 15. I was talking to people in my field, experts in my field. And so what I did was I noted about, was it 20 names? Those who know me and those who know me professionally. Right. So I wasn't going after those who know me as just Wale, Wale is this, Wale. I wasn't going after those people, like my pastor, no, I wasn't going after those. I was going after those who know me professionally, those whom we had worked together, those who could testify, about my academic competence. So I reduced the list to like 9 because I had to exclude just 2 people who can say things about me, things that wouldn't carry any weight, right? So I had to exclude those. And then after doing that, I had 9 people whom I believe could write to support my work. They can testify to my work. They know that even though I hadn't published an article, but those who know that they had at one point or the other, they read my research roadmap. We had written things together. And so I had to narrow my list to those 9 people. And some of them turned me down, and some of them said yes. And I had to reach out to, some of them were in South Africa, in the UK, some in the US. So it's not true that you just have to take all your recommenders from the US, some in Kenya, some in Nigeria. So I think when you even have a mixed form of letters, so that would give you credence better. So that's the recommendation letter. And of course, all my certificates, the ones I got here in the US and outside the US, all my certificates, awards, or the awards, recognitions, and yeah. Those are basically things I gathered.
So after you gather your supporting document, can you tell us in a nutshell what your proposed endeavor was on and why that proposed endeavor is of substantial international importance to the US? Because I believe that that's the area that most people struggle with, especially people in the art field and also people that have a background in law.
Right. And so I want to thank there's a professor a Nigerian professor whom I had a discussion with before I started the process. And as I get into my PhD, I remember he was telling me that, let's see, it would be waste of time to just do solely law, just law. That why don't you diversify that law to touching other aspects of the society? So, for example, law and environmental policy, you know. And I thought about it. I thought, oh, that's very strategic. So I decided to write my dissertation on protecting displaced populations. And I featured victims of Hurricane Katrina in my work and how to dewater New Orleans as the 2005 Hurricane Katrina incident. And I proposed reviewing the Disaster Management Act or Disaster Management Law of Louisiana that was already 100 years that already had loopholes, right? And so how we use effective implementation of existing laws to dewater, to help the levees in New Orleans. And as at that time, there was a serious wildfire in California. And so I talked about the triggers of population displacement. What are the things that displace populations? And that these things do not respect nations, whether you are rich or not. When fire starts, it's going to burn, it's going to displace people. So I looked at those things, I put them together, and I pivot the importance of law to controlling those things, and I use New Orleans, the state of Louisiana, as my target. So, and I think that gave me a chance.
Okay, great. So when you after you finish writing your cover letter, you put all your support document inside one envelope and your USCIS forms, and you sent it to USCIS. So how long did it take USCIS to get back to you? And when they eventually go back to you, did you get was the petition approved, or did you get a RFE?
So it was approved. Honestly, I can't remember how long, but it took a while. Maybe 6 months or so. It took a while.
And so, what year was that?
I think that was either 2018 or 2019. I think I applied late 2018. I got it 2019.
Okay.
So yeah. So it took a while. I had even forgotten. Then someday I just came back from school, and I had the nudge to just check my mailbox. Then I saw the approval notice. I didn't believe it. Wow. Like, I didn't believe it. I was surprised that, wow. And yeah, and that was it. So, and because I've written for people who, I think 2 guys who got RFEs, and RFEs, I don't think RFE is not bad news. It's still good news, because it's just saying that, well, we want you to convince us the more. So prove your case the more. So I don't think there's anything wrong with RFE.
So can you tell me the challenges that lawyers face, especially those that have like a foreign law degree and they came to the US to get maybe like their LLM, or they are working and are trying to get a green card, but they've heard that, oh, you can't get a green card through EB2-NIW. Can you tell me do you understand what they are facing and how they can put together like a compelling petition? People in the law field and also in the art field that are struggling to find out how they can write a very convincing petition cover letter that will be approved by USCIS.
Of course, I don't think it's about the discipline. I think it's about the endeavor. How do you sell your endeavor to the USCIS, right? And we are in a time and season that we are able to diversify any subject matter, right? So I would just say that you should allow flexibility as you are coming into, for example, let me use myself as a for lawyers coming in to study law in the US, you already got your law degree. You know the rudiments of law. You know the procedures and the substantive expectations of this legal system. So coming into another legal system will give you a soft landing. But this is what you should do. It may it's not very persuasive to continue learning the same law. I would say when you step here, for you to have an advantage, do something, diversify that law, the focus of your subject matter. Let it touch other things that this man, that's the former dean of Nebraska Law School, Dean Roscopand, would say law is a tool of social engineering. There are things that you can do, you can use law to address in the society, right? So don't just stay with the mainstream law, because that might restrict you a little bit. The only option you have is maybe you take, you just have to take LLM, take bar exam, and this. Even with that, you might not get a job. Even if you get a job, you get a job with OPT for 1 year. Then after 1 year, what next? What do you do? So I would say that either when you're taking your LLM or you're doing an SJD, or, make sure that you are dealing with things that are topical. Imagine global or national problems that need urgent attention. Immigration, socioeconomic problems. Try to diversify your degree to touch those things. And I tell you, you will be a hotcake. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. So from time you turn in your petition to the time you got a green card, how long did it take? Then the next question is, can you tell us the benefit of having like a green card based on what you've experienced so far, or based on what you know about being a permanent resident in the US?
Oh, you have abundance of opportunities. You can chase your dreams. You are considered a lawful resident. And that means that constitutionally, there are only few things you cannot do. You cannot vote. You cannot be recruited as police officers. Those are just few things, right? But normal basic rights that a national should have begins to flow to you. You have access to those things. Social security. You have access to recognition, the dignity of recognition. And so it's your permit to stay, it's your permit to leave, it's your permit to work. So that means you can leave the country anytime and come back anytime within the stipulated time. So lots of countless opportunities that the green card would give you.
Okay, that's awesome. So the next question might be the last question. So now you have officially joined my green card story as a consultant. Why do you think you are positioned to help people to either draft the petition cover letter or review their petition cover letter? Because I'm sure there's someone out there, and the person is writing their petition cover letter by themselves, but they don't even know what they are writing, and they need someone to help them to read through it, or there will be someone out there that needs someone to help them to draft a petition cover letter. Person might be in the STEM field or in the art field or legal field, just like you. So why do you think you have that skills to help them out?
Well, it's what is obvious need not be proven. I'm a product of it myself. I had the option, like I said, I went to a lawyer who would have charged me over $10,000, which I could not afford, and who had already discouraged me that it was not for someone like me. And I took the challenge by the grace of God, and I did it myself. All praise be to God. But I had to. I just had to take the step. Now, I stand in a position to help, because not only have I done it for myself, I've done it for other people. I have at least 7. At least this year, I have gotten 3 approval for for people in engineering, in arts, and another in medicine. So I have been doing it, and I would say with every sense of humility, I think I have what you need is within my competence, and I can walk you through the process and guide you, and also should you get an RFE, and help you, just navigate the process. It's a very difficult process. It's a challenging, especially teaching an adult how to write. It's problematic, but it takes a lot of patience, and so I think I have those qualities, and that would make you be interested in consulting with me. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to round up this interview on that note. So for you watching us out there, you have had stories of several people that have gotten green card through EB2-NIW, but you're not sure if you are eligible and if you stand a chance of getting an approved petition. You might have even spoken to a lawyer, but you find out that you can't either afford their legal fee, or a lawyer is not willing to take up your case. Personally, I'm not a lawyer, and my Greencard story is not registered as a law firm. We just help people that are interested in filing for EB2-NIW to draft their petition cover letter, to review their petition and to review their petition cover letter. Those are the 2 main services that we render. Or if you just want to find out if you are eligible and if you stand a chance of getting an approved petition, go to our website, www.mygreencardstory.com. The web address is available in the description link of this video, and all our social media platform. Please contact us. Go to the consultation tab, click on it. You can pick Wale if you want to talk to Wale, or you can pick, there are 2 other consultants, including me. You can pick any of us. It's a 1 hour long YouTube interview. We'll talk to you, ask you questions, trying to figure out if you are eligible and if you stand a chance of getting an approved petition. Then from there, if you want to engage our service, we'll work with you to help you to draft your petition cover letter. And if you have written it by yourself, you need someone to help you to review it, please feel free to engage our review service for that. So on this note, I'm going to close this interview. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.